during hitting rock bottoms.
Yeah.
What kept you going? Because most people, like I knew some people that kind of like quit and, decided, it's not for me. I'm just going to do a 9 to 5. I'm done. I just put all my money there. So how and what kept you going? Like, was it your mindset? Is it like your group of support people, your brother?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You could hear it online, from most of the entrepreneurs, it was the drive, it was, they've been born with it or passion, whatever.
Yeah.
But what let me going, I just didn't want to get back to old lifestyle. So, it was a really, how I'd say, rocky time on the Balkans.
Yeah.
At the time when I was born, and I just didn't want to get to old lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I went to a lot of psychotherapy, to get to the cause of what led me going. And I just didn't want to get back to old lifestyle. I think that's the main cause. And I didn't want to see my parents suffer again. And it just kept me going.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's amazing. And I salute you for having the courage to kind of like, deal with it and go to the problem itself. But most people would just choose different ways of numbing that pain of failure. And it depends upon like whether the way is healthy or unhealthy. I would say like your way was like the healthiest way to kind of like deal with it. But then like you jumped into and adventure and you started something else. So tell me more about that.
So then we were recognized by some of the companies in Serbia that, we can gather a lot of people for the trips.
Yeah.
And then I proposed the idea to one of the largest companies in that space. You guys are already organizing trips for elder. Why don't we start a department for younger?
Yeah.
And she loved the idea. So we repeated the success of the previous year. And then we saw after the summer that we can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think this was one of the most profound things that happened to my life.
Yeah.
Then there was another company that I really liked. So they were doing only the trips for younger generations.
Yeah.
And I proposed the idea, what do you think, guys, that you should invest in us? You should open the office, you should, pay everything. And I remember one of the co-partners after saying, it's good, you can be our managers, we could pay you the salaries and everything. But the only way that you're going to give 150% yourself if you have skin in the game, if you have commitment, if you invest. And so when I heard that, that was my click. So eventually out of 4 people that working together, it was only 2, left. But then eventually we grew our team, and with the partners, we actually expanded to 5 or 6 countries later.
Wow!
And it was like a big consortium. And so each country would sign up students and get them on the same trip. So sometimes it was 2,000-3,000 people on the same destination at the same time.
Wow!
Yeah.
That was so big. Like, I guess your experience of like running events started like from like the first party you organized, and then you kept that motive and you like kind of connecting with people and networking. Do you believe like networking with people is actually what got you into this situation, like where you are making?
Well, I was just discussing with my girlfriend a few days ago. Actually, even today. So, a lot of people looking for networking events, they want to meet somebody, to co-partner. That's a good thing. But I think what is happening behind the scene is actually what's the most important.
True.
Because if you don't have results to deliver, then just jumping from networking event to networking event can be a waste of time.
Yeah.
People, it's like a hamster wheel. You're just going through
You're like a rat.
And then it's like a rat race.
Yeah.
So everybody knows what they should do. Everybody knows. Like, it's either starting a company or working on that project that they left behind or whatever. And people just start going to networking event hoping to get some information. But when your project already is getting from the ground, then I think that's a good point for networking.
Okay.
After the work behind the scene is getting,
backed up.
Yeah.
You get to jump into something else, which is amazing. Yeah.
But but networking without any work behind, I think is just waste of time.
Yeah.
When I was living in New York, I remember there were a lot of networking events, especially at that moment, between 2016 and 2018.
The beautiful times before COVID.
Yeah. But then at that moment, those years, everything started becoming techy.
Yeah.
When I say techy, I remember I was one of the events, and there was a founder pitching the idea. So I think he was making toothbrushes, something.
Okay.
But they called themselves tech company. Everything was becoming techy, and I was like asking myself questions, looking at all of those people, came to networking event.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have Dropbox, if I have, cloud storage, am I tech? And so, those buzzwords became really popular, and people started, even me, started going to networking events, hoping to get something.
Yeah.
But then I remember going to startup weekends in New York.
Okay.
That were organized by one of the people I met in New York, accidentally.
Yeah.
But, I think the really good networking starts when you work with people, So startup weekend, you work for 2 days with other people, and, a lot of companies can start from there. A lot of business connection can start from there.
Yeah.
And that's a good networking.
This podcast is brought to you by Podcast Inc., the best support partner for your podcasting journey. Ready to elevate your podcasting game? Contact us today and let's make your podcasting dreams a reality.